There are 8 billion people on this planet. 8 billion voices, 8 billion opinions, 8 billion distractions, pulling you in every direction imaginable. But here's what nobody wants to tell you. Your greatest breakthrough, your most profound discovery, your next life-changing idea will not come from the crowd. It will come when you dare to step away from all of it and embrace the one thing our hyper-connected world has taught us to fear most: being completely, utterly, beautifully alone. We live in the most connected era in human history, yet we've never been more afraid of our own company. We carry devices that can instantly connect us to anyone, anywhere, at any time. We fill every silent moment with podcasts, music, notifications, and noise. We've become addicted to the external validation that comes from constant connection, constant stimulation, constant everything. But here's the profound truth that the greatest minds throughout history have discovered. Be alone. That is the secret of invention. Be alone. That is where ideas are born. When you strip away the noise, something magical happens in your brain. Neuroscientists call it the default mode network, the neural network that becomes active when you're not focused on the outside world. This is where your mind makes connections between seemingly unrelated concepts. This is where creativity lives. This is where innovation breathes. Einstein didn't develop the theory of relativity in a crowded coffee shop. He found it during long, solitary walks through the streets of Princeton. Darwin didn't conceive evolution while scrolling through social media. He discovered it during quiet hours of observation and reflection. Tesla didn't revolutionize electricity by following the crowd. He found his breakthroughs in the sanctuary of his own focused mind. Now, let me be clear. Being a loner doesn't mean being antisocial or disconnected from humanity. It means being selective about when and how you engage with the world. It means recognizing that the most valuable real estate you own isn't property. It's your attention, your mental space, your time to think. Be a loner. That's what gives you time to wonder, to search for the truth. When you're alone, you're not performing for anyone. You're not trying to impress, to conform, or to fit in. You're free to explore the wild territories of your imagination. You're free to ask the questions that others might find strange. You're free to pursue the ideas that don't make sense to anyone but you. Yet, wonder is not a passive emotion, it's an active choice. It's the decision to look at the ordinary world with extraordinary eyes. It's the courage to ask, what if? When everyone else accepts, that's just how it is. In our rush to have all the answers, we've forgotten the power of living in the questions. We've forgotten that confusion can be more valuable than certainty, that not knowing can be more fertile than knowing. When you're alone with your thoughts, you give wonder room to breathe. You give curiosity space to grow. You give your mind permission to wander down paths that Google can't navigate and artificial intelligence can't predict. Albert Einstein once said that he had no special talents, only passionate curiosity. But not just any curiosity. Holy curiosity. Sacred curiosity. The kind of curiosity that makes your life worth living. Holy curiosity is different from casual interest. It's the burning need to understand, to explore, to discover. It's the force that keeps you awake at night, not because you're anxious, but because you're excited. It's what makes you lose track of time, because you're so absorbed in pursuing an idea, solving a problem, or creating something that didn't exist before. This holy curiosity can't be cultivated in the constant chatter of groupthink. It emerges in the silence between thoughts, in the pause between heartbeats, in the space between what you know and what you're desperate to understand. Here's what I want you to understand. Choosing solitude in a world obsessed with connection requires tremendous courage. It means disappointing people who expect you to always be available. It means saying no to invitations, events, and opportunities that everyone else thinks you should say yes to. But every time you choose solitude over social obligation, every time you choose deep work over shallow busyness, every time you choose reflection over reaction, you're making an investment in your most valuable asset, your capacity to think originally, to create authentically, to live intentionally. In a world that profits from your distraction, paying attention becomes a revolutionary act. In a world that demands your constant presence, choosing absence becomes an act of rebellion. In a world that celebrates the loudest voice, listening to your inner wisdom becomes an act of courage. Your ideas, the real ones, the ones that could change everything, they're not hiding in the crowd. They're waiting for you in the quiet moments when you stop consuming other people's thoughts long enough to generate your own. So how do you begin? Start small. Take back just 1 hour a day. No phone, no music, no distractions. Just you and your thoughts. At first it might feel uncomfortable. That's normal. We've been conditioned to fear boredom, to fear silence, to fear being alone with ourselves. But push through that discomfort. On the other side of that initial resistance lies something extraordinary. Your authentic self, your original ideas, your unique contribution to this world. Walk without podcasts, sit without scrolling, think without Googling. Give your mind the space it needs to surprise you. Every great innovation, every breakthrough discovery, every work of art that has moved humanity forward, it all began in the mind of someone who dared to be alone with their thoughts. Someone who valued the conversation with themselves more than the applause of others. The world needs what you have to offer. But first, you need to discover what that is. And that discovery happens not in the noise of the crowd, but in the sacred silence of your own company. So I challenge you. Be brave enough to be alone. Be curious enough to wonder. Be patient enough to search for truth. Even when, especially when, that search leads you away from what everyone else believes. Your holy curiosity is not just a personal gift. It's your responsibility to humanity. Your willingness to stand apart, to think differently, to pursue the questions that keep you awake at night. This is how the world moves forward. The next great idea is waiting for you. But it won't find you in the crowd. It's waiting for you in the one place most people are too afraid to look. In the brilliant, infinite landscape of your own mind. Be alone. Wonder deeply. Stay curious. And watch as your life becomes not just worth living, but worth remembering. The secret is solitude. The power is in your hands. The time is now. Like this video, share, comment, and subscribe for more. Thank you for watching.